Have you ever wondered how faith can shape your financial freedom? Today, we're diving into the intersection of faith and finance. We'll explore how our beliefs can guide us towards wiser financial decisions and a more secure future. Imagine a life where your financial worries are eased, not by mere chance, but through the wisdom and guidance that faith provides. Sounds intriguing, doesn't it? So, buckle up and stay tuned as we explore 7 ways to achieve financial freedom with the help of faith. Setting a budget is your first step towards financial freedom. Just like a sailor uses a compass to navigate the open seas, a budget guides us through the uncertain waters of personal finance. It allows us to chart a course towards our financial goals, whether that be paying off debt, saving for retirement, or simply living within our means. A budget isn't about restricting what you can spend, it's about empowering you to spend without regret or worry because you've planned for it. It's about making your money work for you, instead of you working for your money. Now you may be wondering, where does faith come into play in all of this? Well, as followers of Christ, we are called to be stewards of the resources entrusted to us. Proverbs 27 verse 23 reminds us to be sure you know the condition of your flocks, give careful attention to your herds. In other words, we are to be mindful and responsible with what we have. Budgeting is a practical way to exercise this stewardship. It requires discipline, a virtue often emphasized in the scriptures. As we practice this discipline in our finances, we also cultivate it in other areas of our lives, enabling us to live more in line with Christ's teachings. Furthermore, budgeting helps us to avoid the pitfalls of consumerism and materialism, both of which can distract us from our spiritual journey. With a budget, we can make informed decisions about our spending, ensuring that our resources are used in a manner that aligns with our faith and values. So how do we start budgeting? It begins with understanding our income and expenses. From there, we allocate funds to different categories such as housing, food, and savings. This process may require some adjustments along the way, but remember, the goal is not perfection, but progress. As we embrace budgeting, we can experience the peace of mind that comes from knowing we are managing our finances wisely, with discipline and intentionality. We can find joy in the freedom it brings, the freedom to give generously, to save diligently, and to spend wisely. Remember, a well-planned budget is the foundation of financial freedom. With a budget in place, it's time to focus on saving. Now let's take a moment to understand why saving is such a crucial aspect of financial freedom. It's not just about accumulating wealth or having a safety net for rainy days, it's much more than that. It's about preparing for the future and being a good steward of the resources we've been blessed with. In the Bible, we're taught the principle of stewardship. In the parable of the talents, Jesus tells the story of a master who entrusts his servants with his property. 2 of them invest and multiply their talents, while the third hides his in the ground. The master commends the first 2 for their faithfulness, and chastises the last for his lack of action. This parable teaches us the importance of using what we have wisely and planning for the future. Similarly, saving is a form of stewardship. It's about making wise decisions today that will impact our future. It's about setting a portion of our income aside for future needs and emergencies. It's about being prepared, so when life throws us a curveball, we're not scrambling to find the resources we need. But it's not just about our personal future, it's also about the legacy we leave behind. By saving, we're not just securing our future, we're also ensuring that our loved ones are taken care of. We're setting an example for future generations about the value of hard work, the importance of planning, and the blessing of financial security. Moreover, saving can also be a way to honor God. By taking care of our finances, we're showing gratitude for His blessings, and acknowledging that all we have comes from Him. We're also freeing up resources that can be used to further His kingdom and help those in need. So, as you begin your journey to financial freedom, remember the importance of saving. It's not just a financial strategy, it's a way of life that reflects our faith and values. As the old saying goes, a penny saved is a penny earned. Now, let's talk about making your money work for you. Investing is a fundamental component of financial freedom, much like sowing seeds is to a bountiful harvest. Just as a farmer plants seeds in the ground and waits for them to grow, so too does an investor put their money into various ventures, trusting that over time, they will yield a profit. This principle, known as compound interest, is often referred to as the 8th wonder of the world, and for a good reason. When you invest, you're essentially lending your money to a business or government, and in return, they promise to give you more money back in the future. This can be through stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, or even starting your own business. The key is to research and understand where you're investing your money. However, investing isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It requires patience, wisdom, and faith. 3 traits that we as Christians strive to embody. We need to remember the parable of the sower, where the seeds that fell on good soil produced a crop that was 30, 60, even 100 times what was sown. But just as the sower had to wait for the harvest, we too must wait for our investments to grow. This is why it's crucial to start investing as early as possible. The sooner you start, the more time your money has to grow. Investing also comes with risks. But remember, even farmers face uncertainty. They don't know if there will be enough rain or if pests will ruin their crops. Yet, they still sow their seeds, trusting in God's provision. Similarly, we should also trust in God as we invest, understanding that He is ultimately in control. It's also important to diversify our investments just as a wise farmer plants different types of crops. This way, if one investment doesn't do well, others might. In the end, investing is about more than just making money. It's a way to ensure a secure future for ourselves and our families, and a means to support the work of God's kingdom. Invest wisely and reap the benefits in due time. Debt can be a major roadblock on your journey to financial freedom. It's like carrying a heavy backpack uphill. It slows you down and drains your energy, but don't fret. Just like we're freed from the bondage of sin through Christ's sacrifice, we can also liberate ourselves from the shackles of debt. Let's dive into some strategies. First up, create a repayment plan. This is akin to following a path laid down by God. It provides direction and clarity. Prioritize your debts. Focus on paying off the ones with the highest interest rates first. It's like pulling out the thorns that hurt the most. This method, often referred to as the avalanche method, can save you a lot of money in the long run. Next, consider consolidating your debts if possible. This means combining multiple debts into a single one with a lower interest rate. It's like gathering all your burdens and handing them over to the Lord. It simplifies your payments and can make your debt more manageable. Thirdly, endeavor to live below your means. This doesn't mean you have to forsake all worldly pleasures, but just as we're called to be content with what we have, we should also learn to be satisfied with less. This prevents us from falling into the debt trap in the first place. Fourthly, seek out ways to increase your income. This could be through a side job or by monetizing a hobby. Just like the parable of the talents, use what God has given you to multiply your resources. Lastly, don't forget to pray and seek guidance from the Lord. In Proverbs it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." God's wisdom surpasses ours. He can guide us through the darkest financial storms. Remember, it's not about getting rich quick or acquiring worldly wealth. It's about stewardship, responsibility, and freedom. Freedom not just in the financial sense, but also spiritual freedom. Strive for a life free from the shackles of debt. Giving is an integral part of financial freedom. Now you might be wondering, how does giving away our hard-earned money contribute to our financial freedom? Well, the answer lies in a simple yet profound principle that's deeply rooted in faith: the principle of giving and receiving blessings. In the journey towards financial freedom, we often concentrate on earning more, saving more, or investing wisely. While these aspects are crucial, the act of giving holds an equally important place. It's not just about the act of giving away money or material possessions, but it's the spirit of generosity that truly matters. You see, when we give, we create a flow of abundance. We are effectively saying to the world, and more importantly to ourselves, that we have plenty, we have enough to share. This mindset of abundance rather than scarcity can dramatically shift our relationship with money. Now let's tie this back to our faith. In Christian teachings, we find numerous references to the importance of giving. Scriptures tell us that it is more blessed to give than to receive. Giving is seen as an act of love, kindness, and faith. It's a way to show gratitude for the blessings we've received and an affirmation of our belief in God's provision. The blessings we receive in return are not always material or financial. They can be blessings of joy, peace, contentment, or simply the satisfaction of making a difference in someone's life. But the beautiful paradox here is that when we give without expecting anything in return, we often end up receiving more than we gave. This does not mean we should give recklessly or without thought. It's important to give wisely in ways that align with our financial goals and personal values. Whether it's tithing to your church, supporting a charity, or helping a friend in need, choose to give in ways that resonate with you. Remember, financial freedom isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about using that wealth in meaningful ways. So, let generosity be your guide on this journey. give generously, and receive blessings abundantly. Never stop learning about financial management. Let's ponder on this. Just as we are encouraged in our Christian faith to continually seek wisdom and understanding, the same principle applies to our financial lives. It's about constantly growing, evolving, and improving, just as we do in our spiritual journey. There is a vast ocean of knowledge out there about managing finances. It's never a case of one size fits all. We're all unique with different financial goals, commitments, and circumstances. Therefore, it's crucial to stay informed and adapt our financial strategies to suit our personal needs. Consider this. If we spend time in prayer and reading the Bible to grow in our faith, why wouldn't we also invest time in learning about financial management? After all, it's about stewardship of the resources God has blessed us with. The world of finance can seem complex and intimidating, but remember, we don't have to navigate it alone. We can seek advice from trusted financial advisors, read books, attend workshops, or listen to podcasts. There are countless resources available to help us gain financial wisdom, just as there are countless resources to help us grow in our faith. And let's not forget the most important resource of all, prayer. We can always turn to God for guidance and wisdom in our financial decisions. In the book of James, we are reminded that if any of us lacks wisdom, we should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault. Remember, continual learning is not just about gaining knowledge, it's also about applying that knowledge to make informed decisions. It's about understanding the implications of our financial choices and how they align with our Christian values. So, let's commit to being lifelong learners in every aspect of our lives, including our finances. Let's strive to gain wisdom and understanding, to manage our resources wisely, and to honor God with our financial decisions. Seek wisdom and understanding in all things, including finances. This is our mantra as we continue on this journey towards financial freedom with Christ's help and wisdom. Finally, trust in God's provision. As we wrap up our discussion on the journey to financial freedom, it's essential to understand that the cornerstone of this journey is trust. Trust in God's provision and His timing. This concept may seem abstract or even intimidating, but it is a fundamental principle of faith and a crucial part of our financial journey. You see, God's provision isn't merely about material wealth or financial prosperity. It's about His assurance that He will provide for our needs according to His riches in glory. It's about understanding that He knows our needs even before we ask. It's about the peace of mind that comes from knowing that our provider is the creator of the universe, who holds all power and resources in His hands. This doesn't mean that we sit back and do nothing, expecting God to drop a bag of money on our laps. No, it means that while we work hard, save, invest, and give, we do so with the understanding that our efforts are not in vain. We're not alone in this journey. We're partnering with God, and He is our ultimate provider. Trusting in God's provision also means trusting in His timing. We live in a world that encourages instant gratification, but God's timing is perfect. It may not align with our expectations or desires, but it is always right. It's about patience and perseverance, knowing that in due time, we will reap if we do not give up. This trust is not passive, it's active. It requires us to seek God, to pray, and to listen. It requires us to be good stewards of what He has given us and to use our resources wisely. It requires us to be generous, to give without expecting anything in return, and to serve others. In conclusion, trusting in God's provision is about more than just money. It's about faith, patience, and obedience. It's about understanding that our financial journey is a part of our spiritual journey, and that God is with us every step of the way. Trust in God's provision and timing, and you shall never want. Financial freedom is not just about money, but also about faith. Let's revisit our 7 steps: budgeting, saving, investing, minimizing debt, giving, continual learning, and trusting in God's provision. Each step is not only a financial strategy, but also a faith journey. Every step guided by faith, every decision inspired by the wisdom of Christ, brings us closer to financial freedom. With faith as your guide, financial freedom is not just a dream, but a reality that you can achieve.